Hey, it's your second cousin Curly.
Hey.
Hey,
It's your cousin Curly.
You may not know this, but I actually owe you a video postcard from the Joe Val Bluegrass Festival.
Joe Val takes place in February.
I had this whole thing planned out. It was going to start with something like, hey, it's your second cousin Curly reporting to you from the side of the Joe Val Bluegrass Festival. And then I was going to wrap it up with something like this. And make sure you book your ticket for next year. We'll see you at Joe Val next year. But I'm finding that video postcards aren't that different from just plain old postcards.
You know how it goes. You always mean to send them, but one thing leads to another, and time goes by.
Which gets to another problem, and that's that, it's one thing, nobody expects anything very profound when you just jot down a few lines and send it off, but when you've had a few months to think about it, you expect that you'll bring some perspective to the experience. And that's difficult in the case of the Joe Val Festival because it's such a bundle of contradictions. Which is why, before we go any further, I should say that this video postcard is called something like So, contradictions. First of all, Joe Val takes place at the Sheraton Hotel in Framingham, Massachusetts. So we're talking about chrome chandeliers, wall-to-wall carpeting, conference rooms, the whole corporate ambience. And into this come several hundred hillbillies, or would-be hillbillies, brandishing banjos and fiddles and whatnot. Like I say, awesome, but weird. Another contradiction, the official versus unofficial festival. By official, I mean the lineup of the festival, and by unofficial, I mean the whole picking scene that's going on in the corridors and hotel rooms. So now in terms of the official lineup, Joe Val is a pretty straight-ahead bluegrass festival featuring acts like Josh Williams.
This is my last song I'll sing, the last song I'm ever gonna write, the last song I'm ever gonna play on this old guitar. So station night.
And though you can't tell it from this incredibly miserable video, Josh and his band played a really hot set. But now, against that backdrop is this whole vibe you get when you step out into the hallway.
You're walking along and there's like the old guard of the New England bluegrass scene. You say, hey, there's Phil Zimmerman, and like, oh, there's Richie Brown. And
Hey, what's that?
then there also are like these battalions of young pickers.
Because of the proximity to Boston, which has this old-time meets swing thing going on, there's a whole different vibe going on.
And it's kind of like, it often seems like these people are living in they're not just ships passing in the night. It's like they're living in alternate universes. It's almost like they're not even seeing each other, or let alone hearing each other.
One minute you're out in the corridor catching some crazy jam. And then the next, you're sitting there listening to, say, Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. Doyle Lawson has become sort of a Falstaff figure. Actually, for all the jokes he told, and he did tell a lot, Doyle had the most serious line of the weekend. He said something like,
It's really a pleasure to be playing here, though sometimes I do wonder how many of y'all are listening and how many of y'all are just keeping score.
Think about it. Final observations. First of all, is it just my imagination? Or is Big Mon, the fiddle tune, Bill Monroe, is that suddenly back in vogue in a big way? I felt like it was just being played everywhere I went at Joe Val. That is Sierra Hull, yes, rounder recording artist Sierra Hull, playing with her classmates from the Berklee College American Roots Music program. Along the same lines, I want to propose Curley's theorem, which states that at any given time, at any given bluegrass festival, somebody is playing Whiskey Before Breakfast. I hope you understand now the difficulty trying to get this all down into a postcard.